Oh, no, I'm good with this. Thank you. Thanks, you too. Hey, friends. It is a beautiful sunny day. I am parked at the park and I want to share this story with you. So, a couple weeks ago, I was heading out on my lunch break. I had already called in my order at Bonefish Grill. Yum. And I had a couple errands to run. I wanted to first go to Walmart, pick up a few things that I needed for the following Sunday, just a handful of things. I had planned to go by CVS. I had some coupons. So I headed to Walmart, picked up my few things. I think it was like lemon juice, sugar, and one more thing. I can't remember, but just a handful of things. Went through checkout, breezed through checkout, and at the end, picking up all my things to head out the store, I heard someone say, "Oh my gosh, she's having a seizure." So I look up, and right beside my register is the self checkout. And this young lady has fallen straight back, like she's fallen flat back. Her friend is running around her frantic. There's a young man who was behind them who comes up to see what he can do to help. I go over to see what I can do to help. And the young lady says, "Call 911." So I get on the phone. I said, "I'm calling them." In the meantime, again, her friend is frantic. It could be a relative, a sister, but she is like, just running around, just overwhelmed, right? And then the young lady starts to get up off the floor. So I have 911 calling them, helping the young lady up. And then her friend comes over and she helps her get up as well. And she's standing at the register. She starts to cry. And, she's just, again, it's a very overwhelming moment. So the young lady who's had the seizure goes to stand at the register. She was just at her friend holding her side. I was actually holding her side for just a moment. And then a different young man comes and brings her a chair and has her sit down. She's sitting down in front of her self-checkout register. While I'm on the line with 911, I'm getting this like automated message. It takes them a while to actually get on the phone, like for me to get a live person on the phone. And so in the meantime, her friend or relative is trying to take care of her. She's upset, understandably, and people are coming by to check on her. So finally, I get someone on the phone. I let them know I'm at Walmart, that this young lady had had a seizure, and so they asked me questions about her. Turns out this young lady not only had recently had a seizure right there in the Walmart, she had had brain surgery recently. She had a history of strokes, and she was pregnant, like a few months pregnant. And oh my gosh, she had so much going on. So I'm letting her know what's going on. I hear sort of like the same conversation happening beside me, and I realized that the cashier that I had just checked out with was actually calling 911 as well. And so I said, "There's a young lady here next to me who's also calling you. Do you want me to continue or would you like her to continue?" So my attendant said he did see the call coming through, so I'll hang up with him and they'll continue, with the young lady who had just rung me up. So I hung up the phone and I let them know it's going to be okay, that 911 has the information and they'll be sending someone out soon. At the same time, the cashier is trying to ring up people and make this call. So I go over to her. I ask her if she wants me to continue the call. She hands me her phone and I continue the call. Again, that's how I found out so much information, because they wanted me to ask these questions about what she has going on. And her friend is telling me kind of what is going on as they're asking me from 911. So all of this is going on, and I'm watching these young women still try to buy these groceries. So I'm kind of looking at that and just, uh, for one thing, like, the lady who just had a seizure or fainted or whatnot is sitting in front of this register, still trying to move forward with this purchase. And that alone baffles me because, it just makes me think about the body and trauma and the mind and trauma, and how even though you go through certain experiences and have traumatic experience, that you'll still continue forward, as if, like the resilience of the body and mind. It just baffles me sometimes. So 911 gives me these directives to say don't give her water or drink, try to shield her if she goes to fall, try to protect her head and all these things. So I get off the phone, I let them know they're on their way, I give them the directives, I let them know that I'm just going to step back, closer to the front of the store. I'll just be hanging out and making sure that, they get there okay. In the meantime, I see other people come by and ask how she's doing, ask if she wants water, of course. Then they say, no, she can't have water, things like that. All the while, they're still trying to purchase their groceries. And I'm just noticing how they're still continuing to do that, even in the midst of this medical emergency. I start to hear the sirens, and I feel that sense of relief that they'll soon be here to take care of this patient. And an EMT walks in, and he starts to address the young lady. Her friend's standing right beside her, consoling her. And he asks her questions about her condition and starts to tend to her. All the while, and I hate to keep saying this, but all the while, they're trying to get these groceries bought. So then at that point, I walk around to the register. I walk kind of around into the back of the register, and I kind of whisper to the young lady. I say, are you having trouble purchasing your groceries? And she was like, yes, I have this card and we have a new pin and it's not working. She shows me the card. It's an EBT card, and I've been there. And so I said, let me get this for you. You need to be concerned about your friend. You don't need to be worrying about these groceries. And she says to me with such a sigh of relief, a thank you that, I just never forget. But even all the while, she was so grateful with every help that happened. I think she was on the phone with a relative. She was trying to tend to her friend. She was trying to steady herself. I went to purchase the groceries. And let me tell you this little sidebar. I think it's so crazy. It's so typical me that I didn't even, I was just like, okay. So I went to pay for their groceries. Then I realized that I have this Walmart healthy rewards card or healthy foods card that I get from work. Essentially, whenever you purchase healthy things, they'll give you a discount right away. So it's so crazy. I was about to finish paying for the groceries. Then I was like, oh, wait. And I backed out. I didn't say it verbally, but in my mind I said, ooh, I backed out, used that card. I ended up saving $1.21. I think they had cantaloupe or something like that. It's just so typical me that I kind of giggled at myself later that I would think to back out and try to save some money and then move forward. But I ended up paying for the groceries, and I just said, it's going to be all right, and I walked out of Walmart. And as I was walking out of Walmart, I said to myself, I was supposed to be here. I was supposed to be here. There was just something within me that made me feel like the timing was right. Like I was supposed to be there to help in that way. And I'm just so grateful. And I'm sharing this because sometimes we get detached from our why. And, I'm going to try not to get emotional. But that was one of the things that I've always wanted to do, was to help in times of need. And all that it took for me to be debt free, and all that it took for me to have this level of financial security, and is taking for me to have a greater level of financial security, is worth it in moments like this. After I left Walmart, I went to CVS. I had all these coupons. I was able to get, this might be a lot of info, but I was able to get 2 packs of toilet tissue. I saved $9. I spent $14. So I was able to save money there. And then I went to Bonefish Grill and ordered a lunch that was like $40. I ended up spending about $95 on their groceries. And it's something that I haven't thought about again, except for in prep for this video, because the feeling of that moment outweighed how much it would cost me to afford. The ability to step in and help, the ability to put my money with my values, the ability to be a better part of my community is one of my whys. Not only could I pray, not only could I make a call to the ambulance, but I could actually step in and financially assist in a time where that is such a low priority, but is a need. I can see a need and I can meet it. That means the world to me. And I wanted to share this, not to highlight anything that I did. That's, moot point. But to highlight the need for us all to position ourselves to be greater, right? With our finances. Whenever your finances are in order, you can do more of the things that you want to do. It's proven. Some of you who have spouses, have children, who have dependents, who have family that depend on you, you having more financial peace just makes you a better you for your spouse and your children. I mean, just think about if you have a significant other, you being more at peace financially allows you to show up greater for them. For your children, I mean, my goodness, to give your children these nuggets of the foundation of financial prosperity that will affect generations to come is huge. To graduate your children debt-free, my goodness, like that's amazing. And I want us to all reconnect to our why. If you sometimes feel like, I don't know why I'm doing this, I became debt-free and it wasn't like a big hoopla. I'm paying off my mortgage and it's just like, that's cool. Because sometimes I feel like we can get disconnected from the reason why this even came to be. Like all of the discipline, all of the determination. If all I got to do was be there in that moment, sweating bullets. I mean, when I tell you I had a big old coat on, I had my big winter coat. I lose perspective working from home. I will be honest. So I had on my big old coat. I was sweating bullets. And I just said, how can I help immediately? How can I help right now? I used to always say that if I won the lotto, I would be an angel on earth, where I would call up Duke Energy and pay for, especially some of like my family members, pay for their electrical bills. I would call in and pay for someone's taxes. I would pay for, and I didn't want the credit. I just wanted to do it because I knew that there was a need and I wanted to soften the blow and lift the burden. And I'm just so happy to have been able to do this. I see financial prosperity as having enough for myself and then having enough for someone else. Another piece that gives me such joy in this is that these young ladies were Black young ladies. And I just felt like, what kind of ripple effect can it cause in my community with my younger counterparts to see an older Black woman step in and do this? This is how we take care of each other. And I just wanted to say, if you're wondering what this is all for, sit down with a piece of paper, sit down and meditate, figure it out, and reconnect to what this all was for. If it's to be a better you, if it's to be a better significant other, a better son or daughter, a better friend, to travel more, to just have more peace, to be able to be more generous, whatever it is, to say you did it, to reconnect to that, really found yourself in it, pat yourself on the back and do all the things you were disciplined enough to do. So that's it. I just wanted to provide that small bit of motivation because it has really put in perspective that I am where I always wanted to be. And that's it. Before I start crying, I love you. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you've gotten to this point of the video. Like the video. It's my birthday month and it's a big birthday coming up. And I'm starting to reflect more and more on things like this because I'm just overwhelmingly grateful. So I may put out a few more others like this, a few other videos, and hopefully you won't be too annoyed by that and my emotions rising to the surface. But thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.